coming in too fast. Going on to live in scars. Lost out at sea, drifting for days. Keeps getting dark, can't see the way. Feeling that nothing's wrong. Maybe we're just losing focus. Watching as we're pulled apart. Staring out could be the last time. Faces drawn but can't escape. Holding on for better days. Fading ghosts all empty space. Silence between left just a trace. Feeling that nothing's lost. Maybe we're just losing focus.
to the third Open Comp of 2025. Tonight we have myself and Mr. Dan co-commentating tonight.
Hello.
At Stupid Fast Gaming's St. Louis 2024 track. And we're excited to be here. We got the Shadowrealm V3 Pro-Am cars, which came out not too long ago, but not too short ago, I guess.
Available on Bosan.
Available on Bosan, of course. And we're getting ready to get right into it. We had a little bit of a driver's meeting before stream, but we're going to hop right on into the rules as they slide across our screen here. So, starting off, we got two drivers who are going to battle head-to-head. Battles are going to consist of 2 runs back-to-back, and the judges are going to determine a winner based off of line, angle, and a little bit of style, a little bit of spice on the end. Lead driver is going to run that ideal line, make it followable for the chase, and follow the momentum map. And on this course, there's going to be 2 decels just before outer 2 and just before outer 4.
Chase driver, we want you to maintain close proximity. We want you to match or better that lead. Do not hit the lead. A little tap, that's going to be all right. We don't want you to interrupt their line. If you guys put them in the wall, that's going to be some points against you. But we do want to see that nice minute.
Yeah, so a little bit of rubbing, that's okay, no worries. But don't want to upset that lead driver. So this is our track for tonight. As you can see, a little go-kart course in the middle, which is extremely accurate, I must add. We Shadowrealm boys, our home happens to be right here. This is section 201 if you didn't know. Check last year's FD stream. You'll see most of us on there. So, but this is the track. We got a 3-2-1 initiation cone. Outer zone 1. This track's full of outer zones. Here's our outer zone. A little bit of a decel here going into outer zone 2. Running around this wall, drivers are going to be allowed to exceed that yellow line and ride the wall all the way to outer zone 3, and then slide along in outer zone 4, where they're going to loop right around to the finish and hit that little crest up the hill. They can shut her down at that line, but we're going to ask drivers to turn around because the pits are pretty far away, but if they don't, that's okay. Drivers, if you're listening in, if one driver pits and it's not you and you feel the need to pit, go for it, but you might as well keep those sticky tires. That's what I'm saying. So ultimately, I think we are ready to get this thing kicked off. I believe our judges are set, ready to go. I don't think we have any problems to handle.
Grizz, who are our judges tonight?
Our judges are secrets. I'm just kidding. They're not secrets. We have Blue Hawks, Six Shadows, and War Mode, a.k.a. Gavin, being our lead judge. Always as our judges. So, not always as our judges. Gavin's always our lead judge. War Mode is. But Blue Hawk and Six Shadows are filling in for our other 2 this evening. And we're going to get this kicked off. Yeah, we're going to get this kicked off with our first 2 drivers of the night. At this time, if you're not in that first group like we discussed in driver's meeting, we'd ask you to go ahead and step on out. But our first 2 drivers are going to be Jackie12 and I'm Kinda Panda.
I'm Kinda Panda. We've seen him in here before.
Absolutely. Jackie, kind of a new name. I haven't seen that one. So looks like we have Panda in here. I do not see a Jackie, so I mean, we called up the first group. We'll give a couple of seconds, but I already checked the server panel and the Discord, and I don't see any messages. So, Panda, I believe you have a buy run whenever you are ready, sir. We're gonna watch Panda rip this off in my favorite car of the pack, the 1M.
Of course. He's going to get that nice outer 1. Right up
coverage of outer 2, really ripping the wall.
No angle loss for outer 3.
Great zone coverage of 4 as well. I mean, you know, a little bit conservative on the first wall, but hey, it's a buy run. You know, I mean, you can't do anything wrong, really. Pretty good. Up next, we have Nick Donato against Wong. And let me take a look at the server and see if we have both drivers in. And it appears that we do. So we should have a full battle here with Nick Donato leading Mr. Wong.
Mr. Wong, that's a new name. Welcome to Shadowrealm.
New name, Nick Donato, though. Been around.
Been around.
Been around, familiar with these cars. So we shall see how this goes here. And as always, we have Mr. Apprentice Tofu Lad running our light. Love the lad. Great gentleman. The official Shadowrealm light. We are off here with Nick Donato in the lead, and that 1M flicking it into the wall, hitting the wall a little bit, causing him to lose a little bit of angle before he transitions into outer two.
Oh, Wong right there with him.
Wong is on him throughout those little mistakes that he made. Transition in the final outer zone. Wong a little bit inside, but Donato gets a little bit inside towards the outer end. A little bit of contact after the line, but not anything that's going to be a deduction contact-wise, as it occurred after the finish. What do you think, Dan?
No, those were some pretty good laps. I think the chase definitely dealt with what was going on pretty well. I think the lead was pretty strong after those mistakes, but definitely something he can work on in his chase. We'll see how he does it.
And we will see. We're going to flip him around. We're going to see Wong taking the
Wong's lead here.
Donato in the chase.
Now Nick is a great chase driver. Let's see how he does. Oh!
Contact upon initiation from the chase driver. But did the lead driver lack throttle there? Hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
Wong really surging in and pushing. Or, excuse me, Donato really surging in and pushing. Or was it Wong? I don't know. I got confused. They swapped positions.
All I know is these are some drivers that are glad they are in the simulator right now.
Indeed. And as I'm watching the replay cams, I'm noticing that I need to get zoomed in the proper way on the drone. That's my bad, ladies and gentlemen. That's my bad. It'll be better from here on out. Take a look at this run
Wong's
here.
lead here.
Yeah. Let's watch the tire smoke. That's usually a pretty good telltale sign. We got an e-brake initiation, back on throttle, lack of tire smoke.
It does kind of look like he was a little late on to
And then
throttle.
contact. I don't know.
I don't think E92 Nick had too much room to... I don't know if he had anywhere to go there.
I'm not sure either. I may be siding with the co-commentator for the first time here. Typically, I try to hit head on the other side, but I think I agree with you, Dan.
They were both initiated at the right time, but it just didn't seem like Wong got on it. You know, maybe he hesitated a little bit too much.
I don't know. You know, it just kind of looks... Oh, God. My sinuses are messing with me.
Yeah,
that's a side note.
It is the season. It is that season.
Holy, man. Like, we had those storms run through, and it was sunny today and reactivated it all. Anyway, it's...
I think what it's going to come down to is that first outer zone in the second run.
It's going to be the contact there.
It is.
All day long. And we've got judges pulling replays. It never takes this long unless they're pulling a replay. I've been around here long enough and worked with these guys long enough to know that. So, but we got the sponsors running across the screen. Moza, if you need some sim equipment, hit it. Cal Automotive, you're in the St. Louis metro area, get your car worked on by the boys. Nixter, the grand creator of Shadow Valley. The new one. Tell them about the new one.
Homies, listen up. We got PRP P jumping into the server to give us some sweet content and give us some sweet seats, steering wheels, and harnesses. Head on over to their website, check them out. Let us know what you think.
Number one safety gear that you can get a hold of. And I mean, their wheels are fantastic on the sim. Trust me, we got some content coming as far as that goes. So they're fantastic guys, great to work with, and they have good products. I mean, it's the best of both worlds, best of all three worlds. So we are happy to represent them as an ambassador, and anything that we can help you with as far as their products go, we'll point you in the right direction if we can't tell you ourselves. And then, yeah, but this run, I mean, contentious battle. Totally, you can tell by the end of run 2 where I believe it was Wong got a little bit caught up and switched position here, right here, where he switches around the GT86 driver. Putting the pressure on an outer 4, causing a little bit of disruption. But looks like we do have a call. So we will move it to the sliders. We have Judge 1 going with Wong. And we have a Wong victory.
Hey, this is why we are not judges, Mr.
This is why we are not judges, and we just talk about what we see.
Just watch. So, next up, we got ourselves a SR driver and a new driver, Mr.
Louisa.
Yeah, Louisa.
So, judges said regarding that last battle, Chase was cooking too much speed, faster than the lead car at initiation. Fault was deemed on Nick. So fault was deemed on Nick there. They said that the chase driver was surging in on initiation and wasn't really following the lead's line and momentum going into that first outer zone. There was also a heavy, handy-dandy replay that doesn't crash games now. So the judges have found another way to see mistakes and take a new view and see what happens. So that's a bonus for everybody. But we're gonna move on to this next battle between none other than MAE86 and Louisa. We got Manny in that 1M, Louise in the E36.
And send them off.
It's like a flick initiation from Manny riding that wall.
Couple of BMWs looking like some BMWs out here.
Looking good.
Looking great.
Running these walls, hitting these zones. Manny with a fantastic lead line, but Louise not letting him go anywhere. Louise wasn't letting him go anywhere. If Louise lays down a very consistent, good lead here, we could see a win out of Louise if Manny makes a mistake, but Manny's not known to make those. So, we'll see. Louise, it looks like Manny pitted if you want to. Yeah, it looks like Manny pitted. Louise, if you like to, you can pit, but no need to if you would not like to. If you can try to not pit, please do not pit.
And we are off. Louise.
All right.
Nice initiation. A little lacking of the angle. A little lacking outer zone 2. But he's in it in outer zone 3. Can he get out to 4? He gets out to 4.
He gets all the way out to 4, but lacking a little bit in 1 and 2, I think. Lacking a little bit in 1 and 2.
Manny was there.
It could be. Let's watch run 2 a little bit better and see if we can make a little bit of a determination. We have a flick initiation, a little bit of shallowing and angle, and then pouring out. So I don't know, really. Interesting.
I think if we're going lead versus lead, I think we're gonna have to go with May 86 on this one. But hey, we're not the judges, you know. We're gonna leave that up to them to decide.
Gonna have to leave it up to them.
That's too close for me to call, that's for sure.
Very good to not be the decision maker tonight, because we've already got battles that are, yeah, they're tight. I don't know. It's gonna be difficult, but. And we have all three sliding them towards Louisa.
Fair enough. Who we got up next in that next battle?
Up next, Murda against B. Hernandez.
B. Hernandez and Murda, both names we have seen before. Murda is another SR driver. We will see how this all plays out. Bunch of SR drivers in the practice earlier. They're definitely getting their time on this track.
Absolutely. And I believe we have both drivers here. Let me do a quick check of the server and make sure. Yep, we have a Murda and a B. Hernandez locked in. It looks like we have Murda out there on track. B. Hernandez in the pit yet. So Hernandez, it looks like he's making some movement out there, and we'll see him very soon.
He's making sure that tune setup is selected and dialed. Piloting the E46.
It looks like we're good. We got Murda in the lead.
We're gonna send him off.
Murda in that S14, ripping out flick initiation in the outer zone 1. Very shallow zone wise.
Missing outer zone
deeper,
1.
Much deeper, but a big straighten out of B. Hernandez. And a
Great
loss
outer
of
zone
drift.
3. And
but Murda in the wall in a pit. He was a 0 anyway, but that, I mean, I would call that a double 0. That's a 0 lead and a 0 chase.
I think that was a 0 the chase before the 0 in the lead.
I agree. I do.
It's all going to come down to round 2. Run 2.
All going to come down to it. We'll see. Let's watch it again a little bit and see. We've got B. Hernandez getting that coverage of outer 1, but not really getting close.
Yeah, I think B. Hernandez was maybe a little thrown off by that first outer zone, tried to catch up, and it didn't work out, and then all of a sudden, the run was over.
Run was done, and that D-cell before outer 4 was not utilized by Murda in the lead. So,
no, they're there for a reason.
They are indeed. That is true. But check, check.
Check, check.
Mike Tist, are we better?
Are we doing all right? Which one?
Can you switch to like a intermission screen real quick? I'll disconnect, reconnect, see if that fixes it up. All right.
Test.
All right, we're just having a little bit of audio issue. We're trying to get that sorted out before we get going. All right, we're moving. We're moving good. All right.
We're running into the second round of this little battle here we got going on. Murda versus B. Hernandez. Here we go.
All right, we got B. Hernandez leading Murda here. B. Hernandez grabbing all of that outer one.
Big
making
angle
his
in the
way
chase.
on to outer 2, missing most of outer 2 as he moves along into the third zone. Murda needs to pick up the proximity as they move in the final outer zone, but if B. Hernandez makes a clean lead here, he has advantage.
Great
And he
final
does
zone
so.
for both drivers.
I don't think it would be a big surprise to see an OMT here, but ultimately, I think we're going to see B. Hernandez get the win.
Man, those cars sure do look great going around this circuit. I'll tell you what.
They do look good. Mr. What? Mr. What? And
What?
sorry, y'all, dude, I'm trying to get good drone footage for both the live cam and the replays, but I'm starting to figure out that it's either one or the other, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But I'm trying. We're all trying. No, it's okay. I mean, ultimately, you get to see it when it happens. We're trying to do our best. We take payment in, oh, shoot, boys. What do you think? Liquor and Marlboros? I think that'd be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean,
Gas,
I'll take
grass, or
anything.
gas.
I want to fish eye out a little bit, see if that kind of helps the replay issue. I don't know, man. Dan, what are you doing this weekend? Anything fun?
This weekend, I am commentating on a drift event.
Okay. Sounds fun.
Tomorrow I have a little party for one of my friends graduating school. And prepping my car for one of those drift event things, you know, outside the step. Yeah. I got the new tires mounted this week. I'm gonna go do a bolt check. I gotta loosen up my front dampers because those inverted suspension thingy-majiggies, they're really hard to adjust the suspension when you are at the track.
Yeah, you gotta get that set beforehand now.
You gotta do it beforehand. It's not something, you know, once you get to the track, you just want to drive. You just want to drive over and over and over.
You don't want to spend your time making it you know, you don't want to spend your time under the car when you should be in the car. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Man, I wish I was like that NMLZ feller and had just like a track at my fucking garage and
That'd be cool.
could just drive whenever I wanted to, but I don't. I gotta go to one of those track things and pay money to go drive.
That's okay. You know, one of these days you'll have your
one of
own
these
track
days we're
around
gonna
your
have
home.
One of these days we're gonna have the Shadowrealm,
The compound.
the Shadowrealm
That'd
compound.
be dope. It's actually just a bunch of dudes living in campers and a skid pad, but you know, it's a compound's a compound. You know what I mean? Like
Trailer park compound. Trailer
who
park
are you?
compound.
Who are you to judge? Are you out drifting? Do you have a trailer?
The compound boys.
The compound boys. We're changing the name of everything.
All right, judges still deliberating on this battle. It was definitely I mean, that first run, a wash. The second run?
I don't know. I think, you know, it's a mini comp or a pop-up or whatever the hell you want to call it. OMT it. Just let them do it again. See what happens.
Tell the judges that. They think this is a world
we got a
championship.
call.
Battle.
Let's see where they slide. We got an OMT. Ooh, we have one for Hernandez. Another.
It's gonna be an OMT.
So we're just gonna run it back like it never happened. And, no advantage to anybody at this point. We're gonna have Murda in the lead and B. Hernandez in the chase. We're gonna see it one more time. And just in case you didn't know, you are rad.
Every one of you. Unless you didn't show up.
Unless you didn't come. Well, that's okay, though. Things happen. You know what I mean? Well, maybe. It may be a family show. Sorry, there was a voice in my ear. Sorry, my head told me. Never mind.
Did you hear something?
Sorry. I may be schizophrenic, but our light is tilted to the side. But I think they could see it. And we are off. We got Murda in the lead.
We're off on round 1. Here we go.
Got a big flick initiation. Good coverage of Outer Zone 1
Much
by
more
Murda.
angle.
And a good flick in the Outer 2. Moving himself away from B. Hernandez as they make their way through Outer 3 into the final zone. Murda locks in. Does not hit the wall and finishes out with B. Hernandez right on his door.
From what it looks like, these drivers are warmed up now and definitely battling out for that number 1 spot into the top 16.
Number 1 spot.
We're going to line them back up for run 2 to see what these drivers got on the next one.
Murda in the chase. B. Hernandez in the lead. And here we go.
Big
Murda making
outer
contact
one. Oh no.
with B. Hernandez. Looks like Murda's gonna finish this one out.
Now Murda doesn't have to, but I think he's just trying to put on a show, and what a show. Dang, he is getting it.
I don't know who's gonna be at fault for that one. Let's see here. Run 2 is the telltale one, and I don't know if I got a good angle for it. Well, looks like we already have a call. And we'll see which way the judges make that move. Pardon if you hear my sniffles. We got 1 going B. Hernandez, 2 B. Hernandez, and 3 B. Hernandez. So B. Hernandez will be moving on to our top 16. And up next, we have none other than Carbon Drift Team's own Omar Baghdadi. Oh, that's the next day. We got to call them up. Oh, I got to give them a warning. I can't just be like, hey, get to the line. They're not even in the server. We need Omar Baghdadi, Matt Spies, B Slides, Ethan Turner, Bun Swifty, aka Bun Shy, Aoset, Uncle Mizz, and Rainer into the server.
Got a little look at our bracket here, shaping up.
All right. Yep. We got Panda, Wong, Louisa, and B. Hernandez locked into our top 16. And it looks like we've got our next drivers up to the line ready to go.
Who we got up, Grizz?
Up next, we have Omar Baghdadi in the lead against Matt Spies. Omar in that S13, Matt Spies in the E36. And we're off. Omar, little flick, maybe a handbrake pull. Ooh, contact made in that outer zone. Omar gonna make his way.
That outer zone one is going to be a tricky one tonight, I believe so.
There's a lot of different ways to initiate there, you know, and drivers are going to have issue in the chase just diving in on the door immediately, you know, and I don't know.
I think drivers are going to have to really adapt, find out what's going to go on there before just quite jumping right in.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a study session. You know, you got to really watch and see what people are doing. We're going to flip them around. We're going to have Matt Spies in the lead and Omar in the chase. Very shallow initiation, not getting any of outer 1, flicking into outer 2. Matty Spies gets a little bit deeper, rides that wall, both walls, but Omar very quickly jumping onto the door of Matty Spies. Omar losing quite a bit of angle in outer 4, but this is going to come down to that contact in the beginning of run 1.
I agree, yeah, for sure.
So it could go either way. I mean, it's kind of hard for us to tell from our angles. We just have one way of looking at it, but we'll see.
We will see what the judges have to say.
We've got some typing coming in from the booth, but we'll give it a little break and a little bit of a music break and let the sponsors roll for a second. You know, Dan, this is the first weekend in a couple weeks that I don't have anything going on. And you know what I'm going to do?
Come up to Wisconsin?
No, I'm going to do extra work.
Oh.
I'm going to build more hours. Not because I have to, but because I can.
Some overtime?
No. Well, kind of. Technically, I do get overtime in a way. I'll explain that later.
Are you one of them salary boys?
Maybe. I mean, I'm an attorney.
No, yeah, well,
yeah,
that's one of those big boy jobs.
Yeah. All right, we got a call, and Judge 1's going Omar. Judge 2 going Omar. Omar going to the top 16.
It is going to be Omar.
It looks like we have a big description from the judges.
What do you got?
So,
let's hear it.
As we all know, lead driver has got to be initiated by that last line. So you can initiate any point before there, but you got to initiate before that last line, before that outer zone where the track starts. So you got to do that. Second cone is ideal initiation point, but you can initiate up to the third line. So that's one thing that the judges wanted us to say, is that you got, just a reminder, you got to initiate by the third line. So there was an incident that occurred at that initiation point, and the judges had to ultimately move it to Omar. So Omar is going to be moving on, and I got a dog barking in the living room, probably had a cat. So if you hear that, I apologize.
Can I pet that dog?
You can pet that dog. He's gentle.
Can I come pet that dog? Oh. Riz, what you got to say
for a minute?
Or works one of our
Dan,
sponsors?
can you take it away for a minute? I gotta
take
handle
it
a dog
away.
issue.
Hey, you go pet that dog. Tonight we got ourselves a nice competition heading up. Although the FD drivers might be going to Atlanta, we are going to St. Louis.
We're all going to St. Louis in July.
We'll all be there. If you're there, we're there, you know? We'll see you
there.
Section 2A.
201.
201. And if you go on over to the general chat, you'll see a video of the Shadowrealm boys hanging out up on the bleachers.
Oh yeah, we
general chat in our Discord. If you're not a part of our Discord,
Come on in. It's a fun
Come on in. We're always hanging out every single night. Next up, this next battle, we got Ethan Turner and Mr. B Slides. Mr. B Slides has been
We got
in
B
practice
Slides in the
all
lead. We
afternoon.
need B Slides in the lead, if that's not right. Hold on.
You
let me
guys
look.
around.
Oh, we had that right. Okay, B Slides is in the lead. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. B Slides is in the lead. That's one of the check driver names. We got B Slides in the lead here.
B Slides in the lead. He's
Whenever you're ready, make your way up to the line and.
He's getting his lighting. Hold up. He's getting his lighting set up.
It turned on, then it turned off. I don't know what happened. But it looks like we're ready to go.
Lights are going. Here we go.
And we're going to set them off here. B-Slides, a little bit of a late start. Ethan Turner taking off a little early. B-Slides, flick initiation right in that wall for the most part. It looks like an outer one.
Left behind, but he's catching up. He's caught up. He's on his door.
Making their way to outer three. Wow, okay.
Terrific outer four. A little bit of a checkup.
Pretty good outer four. A little bit of a checkup on angle and through the first half, I'd say.
Pretty good runs on both, I gotta say. I mean, they were there.
Ethan kind of sold himself short a little bit by taking off and leading the start. You know what I mean? Like he kind of, you know, if he would have waited just a little bit, he was moving slowly a couple car lengths ahead of the lead driver.
A little James May action there.
When I think he kind of maybe should have waited a little bit and got the hammer on a little later, but we'll see how he does in the lead.
Let's see, run two, here we go.
Got a cone strike, maybe a restart.
He slides.
Looks like we're good to go. We're going to run it the way it goes.
That might be the safe way to run this track, is just give him a little space on entry and then catch up in outer zone. I think we've got some pretty similar runs here side by side. I think the judges are going to have a pretty difficult time judging this one. Yeah, let's check these side by sides.
Not very good. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to lock into the bottom of my screen, I guess, which is really hard. So I'm gonna send production a little bit of a message here, see if we can get something happening.
Let's get a round of applause in chat for the production. These guys are working hard out here, getting the stream up and going. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to see you guys in chat. Bringing those clappos. I see Mr. Rayner in there giving the applause to some of these runs. If anybody's in chat, I want to hear what you guys are sipping on tonight. Is it a Coca-Cola? Is it a Liquid Death? Is it a White Monster this late at night? Let me know.
Sound like a Jake break ran through for a second there.
Got ourselves a Ghost Energy. All right.
What flavor though?
Yeah, what flavor? I've seen those in the shelves. I've never picked one out myself. Rosé and margaritas. Now we're talking. Yeah.
Rosé and margaritas is my kind of action.
Yep.
Welch's grape. Yum.
That's
okay. That's
always
one
a classic.
of the better flavors.
Butter,
yeah,
dude.
That's one of the better flavors for sure.
Petty
Carl says he never got the undies. That's okay.
Never got the clean underwear. Yeah, well,
Bro,
We're not checking
I'm
on that.
sorry, but it's okay. I tried to overnight them and air FedEx them, but air FedEx didn't charge. It just didn't work out. But I tried. I did my best. What can I do? You know what I'm saying?
Little castaway action there. Some FedEx. Wilson. Let me know if you guys are picking up that.
All right, it looks like we need a rerun for the second half of that battle due to the cone strike. So we're gonna have Ethan Turner leading Mr. B Slides one more time, and then we'll get this moving on. But we're gonna take a little quick second, little quick thing, but we're gonna make this move along.
Mr. Farco with the Welch's Grape. He's got his boys in here supporting the sim racing crew. Let's get some likes on the live stream, boys. That'll go a long way in supporting the channel. Getting our name out there on the algorithm. I'm gonna go ahead and like it myself here.
All right, I believe we're ready to go.
Sending this OMT battle.
Just a half a rerun, actually. We got Ethan leading for the second half of the battle against B Slides. And we got Ethan doing a very, very good lead run here. B Slides making contact with Ethan.
That's going to put him in the wall and end the run.
That is going to end the run right then and there. And I think that will be on B Slides, but we'll have to see. And I don't know, due to the rerun, if we'll have a replay. We were working on some new camera stuff during the little break we had to see if we could get a better angle here. So we'll see if it works. It's going really fast. All right, here we go. All right. Looks like we've got a little better angle here. So as they go around here, Ethan on throttle, and a little bit of a tap in the front end. It almost looks like B Slide shallowed up on angle, surged a bit, and gave Ethan a little tap while he was going through that zone. So
I'd have to agree.
Going in between those zones. So I think that'll be on B Slide.
I think he was trying to catch up just at the wrong moment. And I think that came to bit him.
Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
I just think that part of between those, outer zone 2 and outer zone 3, that is the section you kind of gotta wait a little bit, and I don't think he waited.
Yeah, you gotta surge at the right time there.
Yeah.
But it looks like we got a call, and Dan let them know where they go.
Oh, well, we got Judge 1. Going to Ethan Turner. We got Judge 2, Ethan Turner, and Judge 3, Ethan Turner. SR driver will move on to the top 16.
First SR driver moving on of the night.
It's always a good sign, but we will tell you that these judges are not easy on the SR drivers. In fact, I think they might be a little bit harsher on the SR drivers. We want these boys to show out.
Absolutely, and we have another one up next leading this battle. That's Bun Shy in the lead in that Mustang, going against Aoset in the E46.
The Swifty Shiesty. Aoset, definitely not a new name. He's been around. Seen him driving. Seen him practicing. We're going to send these boys off.
Both drivers with a hot start, hitting that rev limiter as they go into outer one. Bun Shiesty riding the wall. Aoset getting on the wall, but getting a little bit far away from Bun Shiesty. Moving to outer two, both drivers locked into that wall. Aoset getting a little bit of extra angle towards the end of outer two, making him need to surge in towards the end, but does not make his way towards the door of Bun Shiesty.
Shiesty throwing down that 90 plus lead run. That was pretty darn good. I have to switch him around and see what Aoset's got in that lead. Chase was right there. it might come down to that second run.
And a lot of times it does come down to that second run, you know? A lot of times, whenever you do that chase first, and then you have to flip around and lay down a hell of a lead, the pressure's on.
We're going to send him off. Tofu, give him those lights.
Here we go. Clean initiation. Bun in the wall and into Aoset. Then move around outer 2 and into outer 3. Bun Shy keeping drift.
I think all he can do now is force an error here.
Yeah, Aoset really just needs to finish the run, and he does so.
He does so.
So I think this one's going to slide towards the E46 here.
Look at those replays.
Better. Much better. Okay, I know what I need to do now to do better. But we're focused up here. Yeah. Very good.
While the drivers are focusing on their car setups, we got Mr. Grizzler focusing on that camera setup.
Locking in on the drone. Yeah, you didn't know I do the drone and the commentary and during stream. And
he wears a couple hats.
A lot of us around here wear a couple of hats, but this is the coolest feature we have is the Madden style slow-mo rewind. So you can see Bun gets in the wall a little bit here and then forces his front end into the door of Aoset, which gives him a little extra angle, but it's not what you're supposed to do in the chase.
No, and being a Stang driver myself, these cars have some overhang, and you can't always chase the lead car exactly where they're going because sometimes you got to give them a little bit of space on the wall. I think Bun just got a little caught up. We're going to see here what the judges say.
We will see. We got 1 going Aoset, 2 going Aoset, and 3 going Aoset. So Aoset is going to move on, knock out another SR driver. But we have another SR driver up in the next battle, which will be Chewy against Mean Bean 41. And I don't know if Mean Bean 41 is going to make it. Wait a minute. I'm reading the wrong battle. We have Uncle Mizz and Rainer up next. We have 2 SR drivers up next.
Two SR drivers
and Rainer. 2 good friends, too.
These guys drive together a lot.
Pardon me, I had the bracket chopped off, and I only saw it was at the top of the screen. It's my fault. But yeah, Uncle Mizz and Rainer up to battle, and we're going to lock into them real quick.
We got quite a bit of SR drivers coming up. The next few battles are going to be some SR drivers. For now, Uncle Mizz, Mr. Rainer. Take it away, Mr. Tofu.
And here we go. Uncle Mizz in that GT86. Rainer in the S14. Nice initiation.
Great outer zone 1.
Transitioning into outer 2. Rainer falling behind. Mizz taking off a little bit throughout the second half of the track. Flicking out the angle, giving Rainer a little bit of time to catch up as he go in the outer 4. Almost hitting the tire wall.
Few tires in outer zone 4.
That was close. I don't know. Probably a couple of tires, but a considerable gap from Rainer there in the chase.
Make a few mistakes on each side for round 1. We're going to see what happens in round 2. Line them back up, boys. Let's see what happens. Good old S14 versus GT86 battle. 2 classic JDMs.
Rainer taking off with a hot start. Uncle Mizz way back there. Really needing to gain that proximity.
He's going to try and catch up here. Doesn't look like it's happening, though.
It's not. This looks like a Rainer win.
Rainer kind of
just
had a
based off of
really
his
good
lead.
lead there. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Mizz really needed to get in that pocket, and he was never able to.
I'll tell you what, those liveries sure do look good rolling with each other, though.
They
Holy
really
cow.
do. They match very nicely.
Two of a kind.
Yeah, as I watch these replays back, Rainer, yeah, I don't know. Let's
I
watch
think they
run
both
one.
slept on the line
I'm
a
gonna break
little.
this down. They both did a little bit. Rainer was closer to Mizz as they go from outer 1 to outer 2. The gap is created here in outer 2. Then outer 3, Mizz kicks it a little bit, gives Rainer the opportunity to catch back up and get him a little bit in outer 4. Whereas Mizz was hanging back the entire time. I don't know. We'll see where it slid.
Got some judges called. Judge 1 is going to go to Rainer. Judge 2, Rainer. And Judge 3, Mr. Rainer, is going to take the lead. We will see you again in top 16, sir.
Rainer will be coming back. But up next we have we have a buy run. And we have a new group to call up, I believe. So our new group will be Tripwire TV, who gets a buy. If you want your buy run, come on in. If you don't, you can just wait out to the top 16. And then we have Chewy against Mean Bean. We have Zylus against Lozar. DTD Jacob Delance against Josh Jones, GEO. So, gentlemen, make your way into the server at this time. We're going to kick this off. I'm going to keep an eye on the joiners of the server, the drivers that make their way in. Oh man, that was like the best neck pop that I've had in the past week. Oh, it was wild. Okay. Our first battle is going to be between Chewy and Mean Bean, it looks like. So Chewy, if you want to make your way to the line. Mean Bean, if you want to make your way to the line, that'll be fantastic. But I don't see a Mean Bean in the server. This may be a Chewy buy. Chewy, if you make your way to the line and you get there before Mean Bean gets into the server, which I don't suspect he will be, you get yourself a buy run. Is that a Chewy? Who is that? That's a Chewy! That's a Chewy on the line, and he's kind of slowly getting there, and I'm very happy to see him in the 1M. Chewy's going to rip off a buy run right here, and we're just going to let the engine sing. Oh, goodness. Oh, he's dead. Okay. Well, sorry. Sorry, children watching. I didn't mean to show that to the general public. All right. Next up, we have Zylus against Lozar. Zylus going to be in that lead position. Lozar in the chase.
I was driving with Zylus earlier today, and he was definitely showing out. I'm excited to see what he's got to bring.
Very much locked in, from what I understand, yeah.
Honestly, I was driving with Lozar too, and this is going to be a tough battle. These are two great drivers coming out to battle here.
Looks like we got Zylus in that 180. Or 240, rather. Sorry. Kicking off the lead here. We're going to have it happen. Riding the wall. Getting deep in there. Lozar really inside. Losing drift. Going to zero out. We'll lock in a Zylus here as he finishes out this run.
Zylus is dragging each wall so far. Going to grab that second wall and all the way through the finish. He's not ready to go around the curve. He's ready to go into the second run.
Lozar looked like he was fighting the car a little bit there. Well, mic check before we get into the second half. Hello? That fixes. Check.
When you say mic or robot, can you say who is in the robot?
It's the entire Discord. So it's a Discord thing. I just made an edit to this channel to hopefully fix that. I just thought of something. I had a light bulb moment, and hopefully it fixes it. We'll see. But we gotta do the second half of this bad boy. So we're gonna kick him off here. We got Zylus chasing Lozar here.
They're going to kick it off. We're going to hop into zone 1 here. Well, close on initiation. Oh, straighten out. Lozar. Gonna miss outer 2. Good outer 3. Zylus is right there with him. Oh, but a big straighten out in zone 4. I think that's going to cap off the run.
Yeah, Lozar made that big wall contact, not big, but slight wall contact in outer 4, which caused him
There's enough to straighten him out.
Park it a little bit, so I think that'll be it. I think this is going to move to Zylus.
I think Zylus is going to get this one.
Yeah. Ultimately, I'm thinking this is Zylus, but we'll see.
Let's see what the
Which way
judges
we
say.
go. We got Judge 1, Judge 2, and Judge 3 going Zylus. So, gonna slide in that direction. And gonna be moving on to our next battle, which is gonna be between DTD, Jacob Delance against Josh Jones, GEO. So we'll need Jacob in the lead, Josh in the chase. And it looks like we have just that. I believe. Let's do a quick check.
Another 180 versus a 86. Two very similar cars from very different decades.
Let's see what we have here. Big gap. Jacob really running away from Josh.
Lead jumped the line. Lead jumped the light.
Okay, we will have a rerun then. We have a light jumpage.
Didn't necessarily jump the light, but he staged himself back and anticipated it. So don't do that again, please.
All right, let it be known. Don't cheat the light in the lead in any way, shape, or form. One warning. Run it back.
That light is gospel. You better follow it.
Nope.
Get that.
I know.
Get that game chat up.
Yeah, reset tires the whole 9.
Ladies and gentle cars, we will have a
Ladies
rerun.
and gentle cars. We will move it on. But looks like moving on, we're gonna have, yep, we need to flip it around.
Jacob and Josh going at it again.
Well, we're gonna need Jacob in the lead, so Josh, you're gonna have to flip to the chase.
Hop on over there. Might take him a second. We'll give him a moment to read that game chat. Check out our sponsors here: PRP, Core Works, Vosan, all your sim mod needs, Moza, all your sim gear needs, and Cal Automotive, your car needs. Team Swarms, our buddies for our streetcar series. Mr. Nixter, he would be the one making all of our tracks. Those are great tracks. Hey Grizz,
Yeah.
you ever heard of Shadow Valley?
Yeah.
Guess who made that?
Nixter.
Maybe Mr. Nixter.
Nixter's the guy.
The guy. One of the
Nixter's
best
the
tracks
man.
I know of, that would be his track. Can't say I've ever driven it with him, but oh boy, would I love to.
All right. So, we have said on stream multiple times, and we have said in the game chat multiple times, that this is a rerun of the first battle. The chase driver, Josh Jones from GEO, has not moved himself. Oh, okay. Finally, after a good 5 minutes, he decided to look at the in-game chat, and we are good to go and finally rerun this battle from the ground up, like we've been trying to do and trying to communicate to him. So we're going to go ahead and rip this off.
Just a casual reminder, keep your game chat open.
All right, we got a big gap. And it looks like Josh is making his way onto the door of Jacob as they make their way into Outer Zone 3 and Outer Zone 4. Great zone coverage from the lead driver here. A little bit of a hiccup in the chase. But finally we were able to get this battle off and cooked.
Hey, a battle done is a battle done.
A battle done is a battle done.
And a battle to be, we'll see in round 2.
And we got him flipped. We got Josh leading Jacob here. Josh in that GT86. Jacob sliding onto the door of Josh immediately as they get in, but fading back a little bit through to Outer 2. Josh really needs to make his way through the final end of the track and keep that gap, but Jacob knocking on that door.
He was
as they
there.
move through the final outer zone. I don't know who it's going to be, but we will see.
Thank goodness we're not judges.
Got a little bit of replay action. Huge gap in that run 1, though. Going to be big to make up for. Looks like Jacob was playing it pretty safe in his chase run until the second half, but they have pretty similar proximity, all things considered. But also, Josh had a big mistake in run 1 and outer 4. Kind of a little bit of wheel speed drop. Caused him to grip up a little bit, straighten a little bit. So this could be a win for DTD, Jacob Delance. It looks like we've got a call coming in, so we'll see some sliders moving in a moment.
Judge 1. We're going to go towards Jacob with Judge 2. It's going to be an OMT, and Judge 3 going to go to Jacob. Jacob will take the lead on this one going into that next round.
Yep, and that will be our next 8. So our next 8 are going to be Kinetic Ireel, Drifting Magic's Max Jagger, Ed Weird, Kinetic Legacy, JoJo FC, Cody K740, Heretic from Shadowrealm, and Static Shitbox.
And that will finish off our top 32, and we will be moving into the top 16 for round 2 of this pop-up competition.
And if you have already battled, I need you to leave the server. So that goes for you, Josh Jones. Need you out.
Mr. Grizz, you asked me about my weekend. What are you doing this weekend?
So I gave you a little treat earlier. I'm working, man. I'm gonna do a little bit of work this weekend. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of extra stuff done. See what I can do work-wise. I got a slow weekend, not much to do. But while I'm not working, I'm gonna be video gaming, probably escaping from Tarkov. So
I heard that place is a pretty rough place. Sure thing you want to escape from there.
it is spooky. But we got Kinetic Ireel flicking it in here to outer 1 against Max Jagger, making a big mistake in outer 1.
Straighten out.
Completely missing outer 2. Max doing the best he can in that chase position. But man, a big maximization of angle. I mean,
and almost a total missage of outer 4. This is going to be a hard lead to chase.
Ireel really walking the tightrope of a 0 there on that run. That was a close call.
I'm not going to argue with you. That was a very hard lead to chase. I think Mr. Max definitely did what he could there. Let's see what he's got in his lead.
Let's see what Max has to offer here as they get kicked off here. Max flicking in. No e-brake, all throttle as they move through to outer 2. Ireel moving onto the door, but putting it into the wall a little bit in between 2 and 3. And ultimately putting it all the way in the wall before outer 4.
And I don't have anything to complain about Mr. Max's lead. That was pretty solid lead to chase.
Yeah. I don't think there were any mistakes to be made there in the lead position. So I think
I don't think so.
Pretty cleanly go to Max here. And it kind of looks that way. Judges are making their decision, but I mean, yeah, looking at the replay side by side, this is a pretty clear win for Max, in my opinion. We'll see which way they go. Will they go left or right?
It's going to go to Max.
And Max. And got it. Yeah.
YouTube chat. I want to hear what you guys are having for dinner tonight on this Friday night. Let me know. Hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza, enchiladas.
Yeah, let us know what you're eating. Production, we are good. Ed Weird is in the lead position. Don't start the light yet, but we are good. So,
Jake's crayons.
Yeah, don't eat crayons, but if you're eating them, what color or flavor? You know, whatever. Well, we got R33 on the line for the first time of the night. We got Kinetic Legacy in that R33. I love that car. It's fun. But I think we are ready to send. We have Ed Weird in the lead position. And at Kinetic
Lights
Legacy
are green.
In the chase. Lights are green. We are off 2 blue cars. That's a restart.
We got a cone hit.
We have Austin Powers ourselves. in between the cones in the lead line. We're going to go ahead and rerun the first half of that battle.
In the meantime, chicken lo mein. Whew. I'm jealous, brother.
I would totally go for some chicken lo mein right now. I can't wait to figure out what late night snack I'm going to have tonight.
We are lined back up. The lights are going, and we're about to send round 1 again. Here we go.
Ed Weird, late initiation maybe.
Big angle. Filling
Big
the
angle,
zones, though.
Filling zones, riding the walls. Kinetic Legacy
Consistent.
in his stead.
Okay. All right. All right. I think it's going to come down to that entry.
Kind
The rest
of
of the run was
weird
pretty
initiation.
Hmm?
He was straight lined until like the very last second. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Maybe it was a long handbrake pull, but we'll have to look at that one again.
I'm not sure. I mean, that's a good day to not be a judge.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, this is a pop-up comp. We were very explicit in explaining we're just having fun tonight. We're being crazy. Like, this is not for any points in the 2025 SRDL series. We're just doing a thing. So
Just having a good time.
yeah, just having fun. All right, we're gonna kick this off. Second half of this battle. Ed Weird in the chase.
R33 in the lead.
Kinetic Legacy in the lead. And take it away, Dan. Whoa!
Huge gap into the lead. Good fillage of outer 1. Pretty, he kind of left outer 2, but he's getting out to outer 3. Definitely fills outer 3. He's going to snap it. Fills all of outer 4. But man, it's going to come down to those first couple zones, I think.
And that initiation in the run 1. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to
Dude,
come down to
look at
both
that.
runs.
No, man. I can't wait till it starts over again. I really want to focus on the initiation in run 1. It looks like he was drag racing until he hit the yellow line. But
I'm right there
how
with
are
you.
the judges going to see that?
I'm right
I
there
don't
with
know.
you. Yeah, I
See,
think
just
those
look at
first
this. Look
two
at this.
outer
Look at this. Look at
zones.
this. Yeah, it was just barely late. I think it was barely late. Let's see.
Oh, I think it's within a few feet.
Can we slow-mo that?
Oh, that's...
Here's the thing, though. He was
He's
straight
getting-
whenever he went across
Yep.
the line. He
I
was
agree.
straight.
I think he pulled the handbrake at the last minute, and I think it didn't snap out to angle.
don't think
till he
it-
was almost in the zone.
He was not at angle upon initiation. I think the judges are going to count that as a 0.
That's them, though. I'm just here to watch. I'm just here to watch and
We'll
talk.
see. We'll see. We'll see.
The judges
we'll
are
see.
all going.
We'll see. That was just a little
Premature.
thing. We'll see which way it goes.
Judge 1.
1 will be
Kinetic.
Legacy.
Judge 2.
2,
Legacy. Judge 3. Legacy.
Legacy all the way. Legacy is going to take that win, go on to the top 16. Judges determined that lead to be unchaseable due to not being at angle or beginning angle upon the initiation line. So, that was discussed.
I can't agree with them more.
I mean, it's pretty clear cut on the track as you look at it, but I mean, this is not a drag race. We are drifting.
What?
So, yeah.
This is a drift comp?
Many would be surprised, but that is how it's happening. So up next, we should have a couple of drivers ready to go. We got JoJo FC against Cody K740. And it looks like we only have one driver on the line. I heard that there was a driver ready to go. And I think he goes by the name of Joe Stafford. And if Joe Stafford can get in this server in the next 30 seconds,
That might just add another SR driver to our top 16. We'll have to see.
if Joe Stafford can get into the server in the next 30 seconds and just check the wait list, and he was the only name on there that hasn't been called, he's going to have to lead Cody here. So I'm gonna keep an eye on the server timings, and I have a counter moving.
Even though he's an SR driver, just like anyone else, he's got 30 seconds. We ought to get that. We ought to get that.
I don't see. We're counting down. We're almost out of time. We are out of time. Cody, you get yourself a buy run. Go ahead and take it.
Let's see what you got. Big snap into outer one, filling it fully. Gonna snap into outer two. He's filling the zone. No loss of angle into outer three. Little decel into outer four. A little shallow, but he's filling it. He's having a good time out there. We're gonna count it.
Pretty good buy run, I think.
Pretty good buy run.
Pretty good buy run.
Pretty good buy run.
We're going to move on to the last battle of our top 32 against Shadowrealm's own Heretic and Static Shitbox.
Two drivers we have definitely seen in here before.
Heretic in
Drivers
the lead position.
Both in the practice. Doing laps. Putting their time in. Let's see how this all shapes up.
Heretic in that E46. Got Static Shitbox in the S15. And we are off. Good initiation here.
Heretic filling all
Red
his
line all the
fun.
way. Good coverage. Could have been maybe a little bit deeper. Definitely a waver in angle causing a disruption in the lead there. Over angling a bit in outer four. Probably not the best lead to go off of to start, but it could be worse.
Static was there. I think if he puts down a great lead, he might have this battle. We'll see.
Static Shitbox, the world is in his hands right now. So he's in the lead position. If he lays down a good lead, he will have a better lead run than Heretic. And it's harder for Heretic to make up for a mediocre lead in the chase position. So we'll see how this goes.
Tofu send him off. Huge gap on start. Nice initiation. Missing a little bit of the zone. Missing another bit of the outer zone 2. He's going to push it out to outer zone 3. He's filling all of outer zone 3. Little snap. Big decel. Pretty okay lead, but the chase was there, so I think this is going to come down to the replay and the judges. Oh, and into the wall.
It's okay. It was after. We're good.
It was after the line. We don't.
It's okay.
We don't care.
Let's see here. Let's watch this again. So we have a considerable gap in run 2.
I think Static might have been
not the
playing
best
it a little
zone
bit
coverage.
safe.
Not the
I
best
think
zone
he might have been playing it safe in run 2 there.
Looks like we already have a call. So
We'll take it to
we'll
the judges.
see which way it goes. Well, hold on. No, we don't. I misread that. That's my bad. All right. We do have a call. I just misread the call. Okay. We have a judge
Judge one.
1. Going to Heretic. Judge 2 going Static Shitbox. Judge 3 going OMT. Interesting. We have a family divided, as one might say.
And we're going to see this again.
But we're going to see it again.
I'm not complaining. I'd like to see
No,
this
yeah.
again.
I like drifting. I do have to take a pee, and I would like a commercial break. But I want to see it again.
Lucky for you, Grizz, this is the last of the top 32. Next, we will be going into the top 16.
No way.
Way.
No way. All right.
Way.
Yeah.
And
Let's
we're
do
going to
this.
send these boys off for their second run.
All right, we got Heretic in the lead. A little bit of a contact.
And into the wall. We got ourselves a bit of a struggle here.
Ay.
This is hard to call.
Okay, so ultimately, in the chase position, you have to give room for the lead to make their moves to initiate. I think with that, combined with the contact, combined with the... I think that's on Static Shitbox. I think Heretic is at advantage here. But anything could happen in the second half of the battle.
Anything. Literally anything. We'll see. Here they go. Nice outer one. I think Static thinks he's at a bit of an advantage here, but he taps the wall, straightens out and goes into the other wall. He keeps it going, but I think that's enough to change the tide.
I think that's enough to move him and slide him to Heretic.
I think Heretic might be moving on. We'll leave it to the judges.
Yeah, I'm still leaning that direction. I don't really think my analysis has changed much.
I think that was a 100% individual wall tap that straightened him out.
I do agree. We'll see it again. A little bit of a context with pawn initiation. Heretic in the wall a little bit. Over angle from the chase driver. Static Shitbox there in outer one. Heretic looked like he was maintaining angle and speed there. I mean, Static Shitbox just looks like he gripped up a little bit. But...
He bumped him a little bit, but he stayed in it after he hit the wall. Then all of a sudden he went into the other wall, and I think that might be the decision right there.
I think that might be it. We got a little slow-mo action here. It looks like Static Shitbox dives in a little bit, grips up.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's just going to be the way the cookie crumbles. Let's look to the judge chat, and we have a call, so we'll see what they say.
Let's see it. Judge 1 going to go to Heretic. Judge 2 and Judge 3 are both going to go to Heretic. I think that fault is going to be on Static for that.
We got us a top 16.
Just like that.
I'm going to go ahead and call our first 8 drivers for the top 16. It's going to be I'm Kinda Panda, Wong, Louisa, B. Hernandez, Omar Bagdotli from Carbon Drift Team, and Shadowrealm's own Ethan Turner. If I called your name, you can make your way into the server and get some practice while we run through this commercial break coming up.
We will be right back, fellas.
I can't breathe until you let me. I took a bullet to my chest and I buried all the empty pieces that I left behind. A voice inside my head, I'm getting lost inside my faith. If the world wants us dead, I'd rather die in your embrace. I can't believe in a ghost, buried to below. I can't believe in something that remains under the ground. I can't believe in a ghost. I can't believe in a ghost. It's the plan of destruction. Tear me apart, rebuild my eyes. My heart can't function. There's no walls, no place to hide. I can't believe in a ghost. Buried to below.
All right, we're back in this. We're getting into our top 16. We're going to have our first battle make their way to the line here. Our first
we got?
battle. The I'm Kinda Panda and Wong. I'm Kinda Panda is going to be in the lead. Wong is going to be in that chase position.
Both
So
of these
we got-
drivers really showing up in the top 32. I'm excited to see what happens in the top 16.
Oh, yeah, this will be a juicy one. So, get right up here and get popping. Sorry, I got whiny pups in here. If you hear them, my bad. That's my bad.
I won't.
Send a quick message to the drivers in here just to make sure they know. All right, let's clear the track. We got one more car out there. They've pitted. Let the smoke clear a bit. And it looks like we're ready to get popping here. Tofu, give them the rip. Lights
Got
are
a
green.
1M
We're
versus
off.
a GT8 6. Got a Panda thrown into the first zone. He's going to fill it. Filling it all the way. Snap it out to outer 2. He's going to fill that a little shallow. He's going to make it up in outer 3. Really good in the chase. Really close proximity.
Way outside on 4.
Dropping a few tires.
Maybe 1 or 2. Well, definitely 1, maybe 2.
That's a good looking car. We're going to pull him back up for run number 2 of this battle. Wong in the lead, and in the chase. Tofu's going to send him off here just in a second.
Here we go. We got Wong taking off here. Hot start. Kind of initiation where we see a little bit of a power over almost. Maybe flick chase driver there. I'm kind of Panda. A little bit of a disruption in that first outer zone going in outer 2. Making his way through outer 3 into 4. Needs to shore up that proximity. fades out towards the end of the line. That combined with the tire drop on round 1 might be the deciding factor.
I think I'm going to have to agree with you. I think dropping a few tires both in the lead and the chase, that's going to be hard to overcome.
It's going to be real hard to overcome, and it makes me sad because he's driving the 1M. I want to see a 1M win tonight. If anybody in here can make that happen, I'll give you a nice firm handshake.
Judge 1.
Go ahead, let him know.
We're going to go to Wong. Judge 2 over to Wong, and Judge 3 over to Wong. I think Wong's going to take this.
Wong, all
He's seeing you in the top 8. YouTube chat, what you guys thinking about this track? This track is technical, it's short, it's loaded. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. I want to hear you guys' thoughts.
One of the more switched up layouts throughout the FD years, I'd say. It's always stayed this, well, not really always stayed the same. They used to do it way over there. But it's been interesting the past couple of years, that's for sure. Up next we have Louisa leading B. Hernandez.
I'm going to send him off.
And we are indeed off. Louisa flicking into the first outer zone in the lead here. B. Hernandez surging in towards the second half of the outer zone 1. Through outer 2. Can he keep it the rest of the way through the course? Wow, he gets close. A little conservative through outer 4. Louisa laying down a really clean lead.
Stayed with him. Might not have
Louisa
matched the angle.
Yeah,
he was there.
But he stayed with him. Louisa can win this battle if he maintains, or excuse me, if he mimics angle and proximity a little bit better than Louisa did, or excuse me, than B. Hernandez did in his chase. But B. Hernandez is really got the weight of the excuse me, let me start over. B. Hernandez really has the weight of the world on his shoulders because he has to lay down a 90 or better lead run here. Louisa laid down a
really
quite the lead run. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Tofu's gonna send him off. B. Hernandez, big flicking outer 1. He's gonna fill the whole zone. Snapping it outer 2. He's about halfway in there, but he fills the whole thing. He's not going to shallow up any angle for outer 3. And he's filling all of outer 4 beautifully. But the chase is right there. I think this is going to come down to what the judges see and what the judges don't.
Yeah, this is the beauty of a judge sport. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the rules are in your favor, sometimes they're not. You sometimes it's a crapshoot, and you never know what you're going to get. A lot of times those go MT, but in this situation, it's really hard to tell.
You know, when I explain drifting to a friend or a coworker, the first question is, so is it a race? And my answer is no, it's more of a dance. It's more like figure skating or slope style skiing where anything could happen. It's all in the judge's eyes.
It's a real good way to put it, Dan. It's a
dance.
Way to explain it. Yeah.
It's a ballet of cars. It's a ballet of 3,000-pound cars at 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, man. It's such an odd thing, you know, because it's how would I explain it? It's an art, and
it's an art for sure.
It's an odd way of expressing yourself to a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's a different.
There's 3 criteria.
So,
you know, you got line, angle, and style. But there's so much more than just that.
There is, there's all these like rules and intricacies of every track that you come across, and every, like we try to do a driver's meeting even for pop-ups. We always do them for our series, but for pop-ups, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, and it's almost a necessity to do it, because there's so many, like I said, intricacies. But we have a call here, and so we're going to see what happens. Judge 1, B. Hernandez. 2, Louisa Natada. And Judge 3, B. Hernandez. So B. Hernandez is going to be moving on to our Grade 8 to battle it out against Wong in our next round. But right now, we have Carbon Drifting's own Omar Bagdotli against Shadowrealm's own Ethan Turner.
Now, I don't want to do that commentator's curse thing, but as you know, Omar was my pick for the night. Mm-hmm. I think he's got it in him. I think he's got it in him to really show out here tonight. We'll see how this goes.
We shall see. We got both drivers making their way to the line right now. Omar in that lead position.
Mr. Logan, Group 3 is up.
Group 3 was up a long time ago. You missed it, feller. We got 2 purple cars off the rip.
Goku, send them. SR Ethan Turner versus Omar. Omar's going to chuck it in. Huge outer 1. He's going to snap that. Let's see how he does in outer 2. Right on the wall.
Locked in.
All the way on the outside. Filling all of outer 3. Ethan Turner right there with him. He's going to over-angle a little bit. Just enough to not keep it going.
Over-angles it. That was a great chase out of Ethan until the very end there.
Papa Ethan, that was hard to see.
Ethan beating his steering wheel in the S15 right now. Poor guy.
Ethan has it all to lose here. Sorry, Omar has it all to lose here. He's just got to throw it on a great chase.
Ethan flying into outer 1. Omar losing a little bit of angle in the chase position, but he can make up for it.
He snaps right back to the
looks
door.
Like he is. Yeah, locking into outer 3, onto Ethan's door, into outer 4. If he keeps it safe here, he should be good.
I think this one's not going to be that hard of a call for the judges.
He did shallow up a little bit in the chase in outer 1, but I don't think that's going to be enough to slide it in Ethan's direction. I've been wrong before.
Ooh, however, and we do have a little bit of a straighten for Ethan right between outer 1 and outer 2.
Oh, did we? Okay.
I think we did.
In the lead or in the chase? I must have missed it. Let's see here. Oh, I see what you're talking about. A little bit of loss of drift there through the transition.
You see that?
Yeah, in the chase position in run 1.
I don't think it'll matter, though. I think that outer zone 4 was enough to tell the tale.
I agree. I think we're going to be moving towards Omar here for the win. We'll see what the judges have to say. Looks like we have a call. When the sliders come up, we will see what the decision is. But we will have to see. We're waiting to see what production has to show us. But ultimately, I don't know, man. I'm excited. I said I was working this weekend, but I'm gonna do a lot of chilling this weekend. I'm only probably gonna work 3 to 5 hours, maybe 6 hours. The rest of the time, I'm gonna be sleeping, and I'm gonna be gaming. because I haven't had power. Well, I was out of power from Tuesday morning at about 9 o'clock to Thursday morning at about 8 o'clock. So I'm enjoying electricity these days. It looks like we have a call. We're going to see which way they go. Judge 1, Omar. Judge 2, OMT. Judge 3, Omar. We're going to see a win from Omar.
Go Omar's direction.
Making his way on to that grade 8. But up next, we have Aoset against Rainer. Rainer and Aoset on the line. And
Two
ready to
names
go.
we have definitely seen before.
I believe we've got Aoset in the E46 and Rainer is in that S14. We're going to wait for everyone to get ready and we're going to send them off in about 3, 2, and 1.
The old classic BMW versus Nissan. Here we go.
Nice initiation from Aoset. Rainer in the chase position, making his way. Well, he was making his way onto the door. Aoset kind of cut outer 2, but Rainer has to catch his way up towards the end of the track. Locks in the outer 4. Aoset with a great line from 3 to 4, and Rainer just slid himself into right where he needed to be. Pretty good.
Let's turn
run.
around, boys, and see round 2. Here we go. Driving like some oval drivers back to the start. Wait, that's not right. Oval drivers don't turn right.
Wait a minute.
Hold up, they'd be going the other way. Gobu's gonna send him off. Rainer in the lead. A little bit of a low angle initiation. Barely filling that zone, but he's out there. Late initiation in outer 2 and into the wall. Aoset's gonna take the lead and just kind of show off for a bit. Filling all of outer 4.
I think that's a pretty clear-cut Aoset win.
I think that's bread and butter win right there.
Oh yeah, let's watch run 2 here again. Take a little peek. But up next, we have our next 8 drivers to finish up the top 16 and figure out who's going to be the bottom half of our grade 8. We have Tripwire TV against Chewy. Zylus against DTD Jacob Delance. Drifting Magic's Max Jagger. Kinetic Legacy. Cody K740. And Shadowrealm's own Heretic. If you gentlemen want to make your way into the server at this time, that would be great. Our judges are sliding them left and right. We have 1 for Aoset, 2 for Aoset, and 3 for Aoset, who will be finishing out the first, I guess the first half of round 2. And we'll move into the second half of round 2, which round 2 is our top 16. We're developing our grade 8 as we speak.
That is a pretty stacked second half of the top 16. We've got some serious drivers in there. Looking forward to see what goes on to get into this next half of the top 8.
It's going to be interesting. That's for sure, but Tripwire TV will be leading Chewy as soon as both of them make their way to the line. I don't see any Tripwire in the server, and they never joined for their buy run in round 1. So if Chewy makes his way to the line, hold on a minute. Chewy will have a buy run in the top 32 and the top 16. That's pretty wild.
And if I remember correctly, Mr. Chewy did not get much practice, so I bet you
No, he
pretty.
didn't. He's
I bet you
pretty
he's
excited.
pretty grateful.
He's
Yeah,
probably
he's
pretty excited here. Yeah.
Why don't you throw this down, Chewy, and
Go
see
ahead
what,
and let it rip. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's Chewy, so he's gonna hang the rear bumper right on those walls. We got a world-class driver here.
Oh, come on now.
He's gonna throw the
He's gonna make it happen.
into that outer
Let's
zone
go,
floor.
Chewy.
Like the gangster he is.
That's
Going into the wall.
And then just ruins the car. That's a buy run if I've ever seen one. That's a buy run. But we're going to move right along to Zylus against Jacob Delance from DTD. Excuse me. Sorry. Lot of consonants there. All right, we got this.
DTD Jacob D.
We got both the 240s up to the line. Here we go.
Up ace D for you.
Zylus in the lead, Jacob in the chase. Zylus riding that wall in that outer zone 1. Moving along the outer 2. Jacob needs to jump on that door, and he's not getting close. There he goes. In the outer 4. Zylus on that outer line. Jacob playing a little bit safe there.
Zylus threw down
come back to get him.
95-point qualifying run there in the lead. That's going to be hard to top. Let's see what he's got in the chase.
That was a juicer.
That was a serious juicer, like Georgia oranges type juicer.
Peaches?
Peaches, oranges, apples.
I think Florida does the
strawberries?
oranges and Georgia does the peaches. Who does the cheese? Tell me.
Watermelons?
No.
Here we go. Round 2.
Take it away.
Oh, we got round 2. Jacob throwing it all the way into outer zone 1. All the way down to zone 2. We got 2 serious leads coming out here. Zylus is right there in the pocket. It's all going to come down to outer zone 4.
The over angle and outer 4 from Jacob. That'll be the call right there.
That was a finals level battle with a bit of a hiccup, but
man, if it wasn't for the over angle, we could have been seeing an OMT maybe. I don't know. But let's watch run 2 real nice and tight here and let's see what we get. I think Jacob over angles here just in the middle of the zone.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think he just threw a little too much. Didn't get on throttle early enough, and it just came around on him.
Looks like we
Judge
have a call.
1. Already, Judge 1, Zylus, Judge 2, Zylus, and Judge 3. Zylus will take the lead on that. Moving into our next round.
Moving on to the next round. Zylus ultimately getting the win and taking a position in the Grade 8. Up next, we have Drifting Magic's Max Jagger against Kinetic Legacy. Drifting Magic's Max Jagger in that lead position. Kinetic Legacy in the chase. 2 blue cars. We have a 1M and an R33. Looks like we're ready to go.
Tofu, send him off.
And here we go. Max Jagger riding the wall. Kinetic Legacy making his way onto the door. Max Jagger really diving in on outer zone 2. But Max Jagger taking off in outer 3. Kind of maintaining a little bit of a gap. Kinetic Legacy probably could have been a little bit more on throttle, getting himself more into the pocket there towards the end. But
I think Legacy was playing it a little safe, and I think that's not what you can do in the top 16 here in Shadowrealm.
no, you can't play it too safe. That's for sure. It'll come back to get you. But maybe Legacy has something up his sleeve that we don't know about for his lead.
Well, whatever it is, it's going to be out here live on the stream.
Live on
Yeah.
stream.
You get one chance. You one shot. Here we go. Legacy taking off. He's going to throw it in. A little shallow in the zone, but he fills it. Quick snap over, and he's going to tap the wall. Dropping a few tires. He's going to fill all of outer zone 3. Quick snap. A little late in outer 4, but he's going to fill the rest of it. Legacy. Max Jagger is definitely there to follow up with it, though.
I don't know how this one's going to go. This is why I love that we have the side-by-side. Let's just hope I got it in a good enough frame.
That's not our job. We just get to chat about it. That's those judges' job.
Oh, I had the dadgum run too, a little bit too far towards the top of the screen. That's my bad. But man,
we can see it.
This might be a good one for an OMT. It'll be kind of weird.
I gotta watch run 1 again. That's pretty close. I think they traded proximity a little bit. They traded mimicking a little bit. Both leads were okay. Let's see what the judges have to say. Judge 1. Gonna go over to Kinetic Legacy. Judge 2 as well. And Judge 3 over to Legacy. We'll be moving on to the next round with you, Mr. Kinetic Legacy.
Mr. Legacy moving on to our grade 8. Up next we have Cody K740 against Shadowrealm's own Heretic. It sounds like they're making their way to the line. We will see.
Mr. Chewy is pretty upset in the chat. He just wants a battle.
He just wants to battle.
Sir,
What the fart, man?
The third needs a jousting match.
We're up here,
Send
Cody.
Cody and Heretic.
Taking off here. Let's see what happens. Moving on, Heretic needing to dive in to get in that pocket. Cody kind of taking off a little bit, dropping 2 tires in that outer 4, it looks like. Sheesh. I don't know. Going to be an interesting second half of the battle here.
Heretic's going to pull up into the lead. Cody's going to pull up into the chase. We're going to see how this plays out. Tofu send him off.
We're off Heretic really needing to lay down a crazy lead and hope for a mistake out of our chase driver Cody here.
Kind of misses most of his zone 1, but fills outer zone 2. Oh, he's getting real close to that wall. Fills all of outer zone 3. Cuts in a little bit. And he's kind of shallow.
Cody
in
making
zone
contact
3.
and inside in outer 3 or outer 4. That could be our telltale factor. I don't know. Let's watch these side-by-sides. Dan, break it down. What do you see?
I am seeing 8.6 is right up in there, not really leaving too much room. But also he did tap the wall and dropped a few tires in outer 4. I'm not gonna lie, Chris. I definitely want to leave this one up to the judges.
You want to leave it up to them? Yeah.
I want to leave it up to them.
It's an easy out, dog.
You know what? I'm not paid for this shit. I'm leaving it up to them. I think they both definitely tried their best. They've got some serious runs out here. Zones were filled, lines were drawn, smoke was made. That's what I'm here for.
I'm just here to party, man.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just here to party.
America.
USA. Let's see if we
St.
have a
Louis.
call. Let's check. Looks like we do have a call. Interesting. Let's see.
We
which
send
way
this
to
one over to the
go.
judges to finish off our top 8. Judge 1. Gonna roll over to OMT. Judge 2. We're gonna see that going over to Cody. And Judge 3, the final factor.
OMT it is.
OMT it is. We're gonna see that one over again.
Run it again. Cody is going to be leading. Heretic
Line
in
back
that
up.
Chase position. Making their way to the line, they are for another run here. Or another 2 runs, another pair of runs. And
Cody
here
in the
we go.
lead. Heretic in the chase. Heretic is right on him.
Heretic
Cody's
nowhere
gonna
to be found in outer 1.
Going all that outer zone, filling the second outer zone a little shallow at the end of it. Drain up a little bit, but he makes it out. Outer 3. Cody's gonna fill most of outer 4, but it was a little bit shaky.
Significant mistakes from Heretic in the chase, I will say.
I will say so too. Yeah, there was a few mistakes. It was hard to follow that lead, though. I want to see the second battle to make a decision for sure.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can't fault you for that.
We're gonna switch him around. Mr. Heretic will be in the lead. Cody in the chase. E46 versus 86. Here we go. Heretic takes off. Smoke and burnout. Snaps to angle. Fills most of the zone. Fills all of outer 2. Straightens up a little bit, but fills all of outer 3. He's going to snap back and fill all of outer 4 very nicely. Also a very nice chase from Cody. This one's going to be tricky.
I'm taking a card out of your wallet here, and I'm going to give this one to the judges. I have no idea who's walking away with this win. This could be another OMT. I have no idea.
I pull that card out of my wallet all the time. That's like my MasterCard. Give it to the judges.
Give it to the judges.
That's what they're paid
side
for.
by side here, and it looks like we have a call making its way in. We got Judge 1 and 2 and 3 going Cody. Cody's going to take this one off. Cody's going to win. Consistency in the chase and less corrections led to Cody's win.
And with that, we are through our top 8.
We're through to our top 8. And so at that point, if you are called up, do not leave unless you lose. Or unless I ask you to, because we need the car for a slot. Anyway, so we're going to have Wong, B. Hernandez, CDT Omar Bagdotli, Aoset, Chewy, Zylus, Kinetic Legacy, and Cody K740 in the server for the grade 8. And we're going to kick this off as soon as we have the 2 drivers of Wong and B. Hernandez to the line. Our drivers are making their way into the server, and we should be good to go. I hear motors revving. Moving on in to the server are our drivers, Wong and B. Hernandez, making their way to the... Okay, there we go. Come on now! You were just here, fella. Where'd you go? He's making his way to the line. He's good. He probably misclicked, misbutton. Oh, excuse me. I'm getting burp attacked. Oh, God. B. Hernandez in the chase against Wong in the lead. And we're off.
Mr. Wong in the lead. He's going to chuck this one in. Nice village of outer 1. Could have been a little deeper, but he was deep in outer 2. He's going to carry that, be pretty deep in outer 3, and let's see what he does in outer 4. A little over angle, but he kept it going.
Yeah, I mean, could have been better zone coverage in the lead there. You know what I mean?
I think he played it a little bit safe.
Too safe for this late in the game.
Too safe,
Too
yeah.
safe, if I do say.
For a little overhang those 8.6s have, he could have been real deep in those zones, but I don't know. Let's see what happens in the chase for him. But we're gonna see what Hernandez has in the lead.
We got him at the line. B. Hernandez taking off in the lead here. Big flick. Wong on the door. Not giving any room for comfort for B. Hernandez. Giving a little bit of room in the outer 3.
I think he might have heard what you said about his zone coverage.
I don't know. He needed to make up for it, but will that be enough?
I think he did it. That was pretty darn good chase.
Let's watch a little side-by-side action and see B. Hernandez's chase. You have to also remember B. Hernandez did not have the best lead to follow there. B. Hernandez was quite a bit inside in outer zone 2. That could cause him a little bit of trouble. And ultimately, Wong's outer 4 was pretty good in the lead.
I think
Maybe
if we're going
OMT
lead versus
territory.
lead, I think the 46 definitely laid it down. Consistency, depth, angle, it was all there.
Man.
We're going to leave this one
Let's
up
see
to the
which way they
judges,
go.
though.
1 for Wong. 2 for Wong. 3 for Wong. All right. We're going to kick this one along. Move quickly on to Omar Baghdadi against Aoset. So drivers, if you could, please make your way to the line as fast as you can so we can get this moving through the rest of the night.
I didn't know the voice in my head had a wife.
Wait, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, whoa.
All right, give me just a second, gentlemen. Sorry. Little thing popped up.
Tofu's going to send them off here.
All right, we are good.
Omar in the lead.
All right.
Aoset in the chase. Omar's going to flick it in. Good coverage of outer 1. Some of the best we've seen all night. He's going to snap into outer 2 right on the wall. dragging that outer line, straightens up a little bit for outer 3, but he makes all of it. Smooth as silk, he's going to snap it into 4. Could have been a little deeper, but I think it was there. Gonna have to
Pretty damn good overall, I think. I think that was
good.
pretty dang smooth. We're gonna have them flip around. Omar is gonna be chasing Aoset here.
In the meantime, Wazoo is definitely reminding us to be clicking that like button if you can, if you are physically capable.
If you can blow on it to click it, do it, please.
If you can muster the strength. Raynor did it twice.
2 times.
Do it 3 times, so it actually works.
Omar on the
Aoset
door upon initiation.
Dropping that little bit shallow in the outer zone 1, a little shallow in outer 2. Let's see what he does in outer 3. Straightens out just like before, but he makes the outer zone 3 and definitely makes outer zone 4. But Omar is there.
Drop, but Omar was there the whole time.
Omar was there. Get that on a t-shirt, because he's always there.
Omar was there. Put it on a t-shirt.
Omar was there.
Ripping through this course, both of them are. But I think Omar just did a little bit better of a job. I think he was just a little bit more locked in.
I think these are some great battles, though. Both of them.
Oh my god.
Great job.
I mean, we always have good battles, but for a pop-up comp, this is great, man. For a late announcement pop-up comp, shoot. This is wild.
We got the real dogs out here tonight, you know.
The real dogs, dude. The barkers.
Barkers.
Big woofers out here tonight, dude.
Woo, 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 woo.
Woo, woo, woo. Oh, man. I got... ow! I can't say what I just did, but that hurt.
Bite it.
Dan saw it. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say Dan
You
saw
gotta
it.
bite it. Sometimes you can't shoot it, so you gotta bite it.
Yeah, rip it off.
I think we'll leave this one in the judge's hands, Chris. I think this one's above our pay grid.
You're getting paid?
Yeah, they double my salary every year.
Wait, what the hell?
They're good old volunteer hours.
I hate it here. I quit. They double my volunteer hours. Next year, I have to do double what I did this year.
You should see the benefits package.
I get a piece of bubble gum every Wednesday, and a peanut butter and jelly if I'm really good on Friday.
I really look forward to it.
I'm just gonna say it. I would fuck up a peanut butter and jelly right now. Like it'd be some nasty work. But it looks like we have a call.
Bro, give me 7 hours. I'll make you want to drive it down.
Bring it on over, dude.
Judge 1 is gonna go towards Omar. Judge 2, OMT, and Judge 3 gonna go over to Omar.
You know, I can really see the OMT. I do lean more towards Omar, but I can really see the OMT given
it
what
was a
happened
close
in that
battle.
Yeah.
It was close, but I think Omar's lead was just a little bit more confident.
Just a little bit. You know, I used to say this a lot, and I'm going to bring it back. All the drivers are wearing suits, but not all of them are wearing ties along with the suit. He was wearing the suit and tie.
I remember.
You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
I was with you back then. I'm with you now.
Yeah, man. But up
Now
next,
we're gonna see
we have Chewy doing his first battle of the night in the Grade 8.
Against a serious competitor, Zylus. This is going to be a spicy one. Chewy throws it in. Of course, he's going to drag that outer zone fully deep. Snapping it to outer zone 2. Zylus is right there on him. Chewy's going to push it out. A little shallow, but Zylus is right there adjusting. Both of them go deep into outer 4. Zylus could have been mimicking the angle a little more, but we all know Chewy throws huge angles, so it's hard to judge.
You know, that was a, I mean, fantastic lead out of Chewy. Great lead.
Yep.
Nothing to complain about in the lead position from Chewy. Zylus had a couple areas where he, like you said, he could have been mimicking angle a little bit more. He did have a little bit of a gap in proximity in outer zone 1, kind of massaged his way into the pocket, but definitely a chase to compliment from Zylus there.
I think we're also being a little hard on these two drivers just because we know their caliber. Let's see what
Yeah, we
Zylus
do.
has
We
in the
know
lead.
both of these guys. Yeah, so
Zylus
Chewy on
is
that
gonna
door.
Drag that outer zone. He's gonna drag that outer zone too. He's pushing it deep. Chewy is right there. Both of them going very deep. It's all gonna come down to this last outer zone, and they're both right there. That contact looked like it was after the finish line, so it's gonna come down to the judges. I'm not paid enough for this shit. I'm not paid anything. We're gonna see what they have to tell about it, because that was. See, if it was up to me, I'd want to see this battle all night long.
Yeah,
We can't do that because we
this
have
could-
32 drivers.
Yeah, we got a lot of shit to do, guys, and
We
we're
got a lot
trying
of
to do it.
drivers.
But, I think this could potentially come down to production. We good? Okay. I think it could potentially come down to that little bit of a gap off the jump in run 1. You know, Chewy was in the area of proximity that I think the judges would want to see in outer zone 1 in his chase. I don't think that Zylus was where he needed to be there, and it could come down to that. I'm interested to see what the judges say, but I don't know.
I think in the last zone, outer 4, Chewy was a little shallow, but he was mimicking the angle. Zylus was at the same line, but he was a little bit pizza cutting. He was a little, so it is it's gonna come down to judge 1 being towards Chewy, judge 2 going towards Chewy, and judge 3 going towards Chewy.
All moving towards Chewy, and looks like the judges gave a little note on that one. You want to let them know?
I'd like to hear this. That's what the next question I had
So-
was, what do the judges have to say?
I was right. It came down to the proximity of the chase driver, which was Zylus in run 1. They said if Zylus would have been a little bit closer in that chase position, probably would have been an OMT. But, the hairs are split whenever we get towards the end. And that's just because the caliber of driving gets stiffer, So the way the cookie crumbles.
Like I said, those were two of some of the best drivers, and so the standard is going to be very high. Very high. And
Very
speaking
high
of which,
indeed.
we've got Cody and Kinetic Legacy up. Kinetic Legacy in the lead. He's going to throw it in. Definitely filling that outer zone 1. Cody a little far behind. Legacy is filling that outer zone 2. Following all of outer zone 3. Little
Cody
tap.
making contact.
It didn't look like it disrupted the lead. Props to the lead. He still filled all of zone 4, but
Cody really with a mountain to climb, I think, here.
I think so too. He's gonna have to lay down something serious and hope that Kinetic Legacy can't chase it. We're gonna have to find out. All I know is those paint schemes look amazing.
You know what's funny?
What's up?
Regarding the liveries,
Yep.
I typically set the liveries for the cars. So not for this open comp, I just let the server do it. Not one team skin, they're all variants. Every single one of them is a variant. Not one car ended up with a team skin. I don't know how that happened. I don't know. That's my bad. I'll never do that again. Anyway, As we move on, we got Cody leading Kinetic Legacy. Cody, a little bit of a gap from Kinetic Legacy. Legacy dives in towards the second half of Outer Zone 2. Maintains where he's at. Knows he just needs to keep it a little bit safe. Cody over angles a little bit in Outer 4. Not really leaving Kinetic Legacy anywhere to go, but Kinetic Legacy maintains his proximity without making contact. Good driver control.
I think both drivers there really dealt with their opponent in the worst case scenario, but we'll have to see whose faults were the most when it comes down to the judging. A little tap from here, a little over angle from here.
Yeah, man.
Judges are deliberating. It's going to be an interesting one. I think we're going to watch this one more time. See kind of what's going on. Judge 1. Going to go towards Kinetic Legacy, and Judge 2 as well, and Judge 3 as well. This round will move to Kinetic Legacy, moving into the final 4. Moving on to our next battle.
As we go into the final 4.
Which will be the final 4. Which will be
Wong,
Wong,
Omar, Chewy, and Legacy.
those 4 guys who should still be in the server. We should be just
Yeah.
ready to hop
Chewy,
right
get your
in.
butt in there. And at this point, if you lose, we will need you for the 3rd place match. So please stick around if you lose, because you'll be battling the other loser of these 2 battles to battle it out for 3rd place. As you know, in our series, we have seeding for 3rd. But in an open comp, you got to fight for it. And that's the way it's going to damn be. But up now, we have Wong against Omar Baghdadli, and we are ready to go.
This is going to be a pretty heated battle. Tofu send them off. Got Wong in the lead. He's going to chuck it in. Filling half of Outer Zone 1, but
Very shallow
okay,
in the lead there.
very consistent though. He's going to snap it out for Outer Zone 3. Filling all of Outer Zone 3. He's going to flick to Outer Zone 4. Omar is right there with him. Pretty good battle.
Omar did the best he could with that lead.
He did, yeah. I mean, he
You
was
know?
there.
And not saying that the lead was bad, but I mean, off the jump, you have a shallow initiation in the Outer Zone 1 from the lead. In the chase position, you have to compensate for that to some degree. So judges are going to be looking at that, and they have been all night. I mean, that's any upset calls would be mistakes of lead, probably. I mean, I'm not speaking in a blanket terms, but generally, I'd say. But
Lead
we have
versus
another
lead.
half of this battle to go. Go ahead, take it away.
Omar's gonna take the lead. He's gonna throw it in. Let's see how he does. Filling all of Outer Zone 1. Little tap from the chase, but it's not gonna disturb him. He's gonna fill all of Outer Zone 2, get pushed out wide. He's still gonna fill all of Outer Zone 3. He's gonna snap out and follow through all of Outer Zone 4. Even though he was getting bullied, he ran a great lead.
That
See
the
what comes
judges are
down.
going to look. I know the judges are going to look at that and go, yeah, he was able to maintain his composure the entire time with getting tapped and everything, and still ran probably an 85 to 90 point lead run.
It looked like he was getting a massage during that run. He wasn't stressing at all.
Like, we like taps and rubs, but if you're tapping and rubbing from surging and trying to catch up, that's a different story. I think the judges are going to hand this to Omar very quickly.
I agree with you. I agree 100%. I think he showed up.
I don't say that very often,
out.
but I think this is Omar's all day long. If I'm wrong, I will make Slay J switch the camera to my face cam, and I will eat a sock.
And
You
you're
heard it
fired.
here first. And I'm fired.
And you're fired.
And I'm fired. And
I'm
I am
kidding.
fired. And
I don't have that
and I am kicked out forever. I'm gone.
Fired.
All right, you heard it here from Dan. Dan said it. Okay, we have a call. My fate is in the hands of the judges. Dan, read my fate.
Judge 1. Grizz is hired. Judge 2. Grizz is hired. Judge 3
Let's go!
also says, Grizz, you have your job still.
I live, dude. It's so awesome. Grizz,
You get to
I don't
keep
know
your
how I was
volunteer
gonna-
position.
I don't know how I was gonna pay for my weekly air. You know what I mean? My weekly oxygen.
You get paid?
Well, the whole joke in that is that oxygen is free.
Okay. Well, here we got Chewy and Kinetic Legacy.
Chewy
Two
and Legacy kicking
serious
it off here.
drivers. Chewy in the lead. He's going to chuck it out. A little shallow for Chewy, I'm not going to lie. But he gets back out there in outer zone 2.
He heard
Kinetic
you say
is
that.
right there with him. Yeah, he did. Because he's out there, and Kinetic is right there with him. Chewy deep in outer 4. Maybe dropping a tire even.
I think he
We're gonna
was
have
on the
to see
yellow. I think I tried to get the camera down to catch it, but I think he was on the yellow. Like I think he was
a little
right
deeper
on the
than
line.
that. I think he might have been a little past the line.
He may have been. He may have dropped a little bit before I got the camera flipped around to the right angle there. So
But at the same
I don't
time,
know.
it was a very consistent lead run, and I think it's going to come down to what Kinetic can bring in his lead run. But we're not judges, so we're just chatting. The in-car view, that's new. Kinetic is going to throw it in. He's also going to fill all of Outer Zone 1. Chewy right there with him. He's going to fill out all of Outer Zone 2. No shallow up for Outer Zone 3. Chewy is in his door. No tire drops in Outer Zone 4. But Chewy is right there with him.
oh,
To the judges
man.
with that run, because I'm not calling that. Not even close.
Let's watch a side by side. Oh my god. Okay. So
I think they both had some separation in Outer Zone 1,
Outer Zone 1 I think is a wash. I think that's even.
but they both tightened it up a little bit for Outer Zone 2 and 3. And then they were both very good in Outer Zone 4. Very close Outer Zone 4. I think
This
it's
is
going to
gonna-
come down to Outer Zone 3
yeah.
and 2.
2 and 3 you think? Or 3 and 2?
2 and 3, I think. I think
I
it's
think
going to
it's-
come
I-
down to who had the better lead and chase in Outer Zone 2 and 3.
I think I'm going to speak a little bit more pointed here. I think it's going to come down to specifically proximity from the second half of from zone 2 to the end of zone 3. And I think it's going to come down to zone coverage in that same area. I think it really boils down to that. I think
You
ultimately
think Chewy
we
was
could have
on
had
his 4
I
and 3?
Man, I think as I watched run 1 back, I think you were correct, and I think Chewy did maybe have a tire dropping out of 4, which will make an impact on the call.
It was a
He's
slight tire
he's
drop, but
outside.
he's out there.
Outside there. He's out there. He's out there.
That's the lead. That's a lead run, and he's
that
outside.
passenger side tire is outside the line. So, oh man, OMT? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I think Chewy's chase was better, but at the same time, yes, he did drop a tire in the lead. So I'm not a judge. I'm not even gonna say if I was a judge, blah blah blah. I'm not a judge. I'm not a judge.
I have no idea. I'm leaning OMT. I'm leaning right in the middle. So I guess you could say I'm not leaning.
I would like to see that again. That
Uh-huh.
would be fun to watch that one again.
It looks like we have a call.
Or just let him know that call.
Oh, you're gonna make me do it. Okay.
I'm gonna make you do it.
Let's see what happens. We got Judge
I've been
1.
saying too many calls.
Judge 1 is leaning Chewy. Judge 2 is leaning Legacy. And Judge 3 goes Legacy. Kinetic Legacy. Moving on to battle Omar Bagdatli for the win. And Wong against Chewy for the third place battle. And we will have Wong leading Chewy for our third place battle right here, right now.
Wong versus Legacy, not Chewy. Chewy got knocked out.
Or Wong versus
third place.
Wong versus Legacy. We will have.
And when it did come down to
top
was
third, yep, we had a little mistake on the bracket, but we're good.
and what it did come down to was the tire drop. Unfortunately, Chewy did drop one slight tire, and as you know,
Came down to that tire drop.
it is lead versus lead, chase versus chase.
And that does indeed matter, but we will have Wong against Chewy. We got Omar on the line. We need Omar, if you can hear me, I need you to go to the pit real quick and wait for your your first place battle against Kinetic Legacy. But right now, we got Wong against Chewy as soon as we get ready to roll. We're not quite ready to roll yet, but we're going to get there. Chewy, been a member of Shadowrealm for a very long time. Great kid, great guy. Wong, a new stepper in the Shadowrealm competitions, but making a frickin' entrance as we kick off this third place battle. We got Chewy kicking off our lead here. Good clean initiation, or excuse me, Wong kicking off our lead here. Chewy on the door as they go through. Chewy not giving any room for Wong, but staying comfortably close as they move into outer four and finish off the first half of the battle.
A bit of a tire drop from Wong right at the end there. And I want to say, Chewy, new to the BMWs. Usually we see him in a Nissan.
We typically see him in an S15 or something of that nature. Yeah, this is
He's in the BMW this time, though.
a little bit of a change. The 1
But
Series.
he's got this chase again. He's been running some great chases. Although the lack of practice, you can't really see it.
Chewy riding that wall. Wong diving in a little bit, having to hit the brakes a touch. Shallow angle from Wong as they go the outer 2 and the 3. Chewy missing a little bit of the first part of 3, but grabbing the rest. They dive into 4. Wong grabbing on the door, a little bit inside the pocket, not deep as he needed to be, but I don't know.
I think Chewy heard us, and he did definitely not drop any tires in that lead run. Glad to see.
He was
right on the
locked
line.
in, as he should be in that point. But looks like we are making our way to the end. Oh shoot, I almost dropped the drone cam controller. That would have been bad. One Chewy. 2 OMT. What's it gonna be? Drum roll. 3. Moving to Chewy. Chewy will be locked in for third place tonight in the Shadowrealm Open Comp at SFG St. Louis 2024. SFG stands for Stupid Fast Gaming. Appreciate them for making this map and providing it to the public to be used.
And if you didn't know, you're rad.
Yeah, if you didn't know, you are rad. But, although you are rad, there are two drivers that may be a little bit more rad than you. And those two drivers are Carbon Drift Team's own Omar Baghdadli and Kinetic Legacy. Omar from Carbon Drift Team, Legacy from Team Kinetic. Who will be our victor? We're going to send him off right now. We have Omar in that S13 and Kinetic Legacy in the R33. Ripping it off. Omar riding that wall through Outer Zone 1. Kinetic Legacy right in his shadow as they move to Outer Zone 2. Kinetic Legacy really needing to shore up that proximity as they move through 3. Will there be enough time? I'm not sure. Omar known to lay down a crazy chase.
I think
Kinetic.
Omar could have been a little closer. There was a one-car gap the whole time, and
Omar was in the lead.
Okay.
Legacy was in the chase there.
Ugh. Ugh.
You're good. It
Legacy
happens. I
could have
do it
shortened it up
literally
a
every
little
other
bit.
battle. It's okay.
I think Legacy could have shortened it up a little bit. There was a one-car gap, a little bit of a safe buffer zone that should not have been there. This is the finals.
It's the finals. You got to lock in. You got to trade the paint.
I think Omar could capitalize on that in this second round here. Let's see what he does.
Oh, but
Kinetic
he doesn't off the jump.
definitely throwing down a great lead run here. Filling all the zones, very consistent all the way out on that outside zone. Filling absolutely every single zone perfectly. Omar wasn't even there until halfway through the run. But he was there at the end of the run, so this is gonna be hard to judge.
This is gonna be a side-by-side tiller here. So run 2 looks like Cam was a little bit off, but Omar was not really behind Kinetic until the beginning of Outer 2. So it's, it's pretty close, ultimately. Could be an OMT. I'm almost leaning more towards... No, I'm leaning towards OMT, if I'm being honest. This is an OMT battle. I'm changing my mind. Nope. I'm not saying anything. I don't know what it is. Damn it. I have no idea. I'm not making a call. You can't force me.
No.
You can't make me.
No. I can't.
Well, you might be able to, Dan. You'd be surprised.
I can't take your job. You're a volunteer.
I can't take your job. You're a volunteer.
I guess we're at a... Gosh darn...
We're at a standoff. We're both pointing our guns at each other, but neither one of us got bullets.
Ain't that the truth? I'm gonna have to go with the S13. I'm gonna have to go with the S13.
That would be Omar.
He was
and
there.
I'm kind of leaning there too. I'm kind of leaning in that direction as well, if I'm being honest.
But that's not up to us.
It's not up to us.
At the end of the day, it's not up to us.
We don't get to pick the winner.
It's a game of blackjack, and who got closer to 22? I don't know. I can't see their cards. That's the judges can see their cards. That's what they're paid to do.
That song made me think of "Welcome to Hard Times" by Charlie Crockett.
Oh shit! I haven't heard that one.
Oh, we're having a listening party before we debrief after stream. Then. Oh, that's a banger, man. It's old classic country. It's good stuff.
Oh, I like those.
I have a feeling you will very much like this.
Beyond on his hip, you know.
Oh, have you heard Coulter Wall's cover of that?
No.
Yeah, we're having a listening party. All right.
Yep. I'm all for it. I might be from Wisconsin, but I got a little bit of country in me.
Oh, dude, country could be anywhere.
It can be anywhere, even Florida.
Oh, you can be anywhere. Country is it's a state of mind.
Oh my
if
gosh!
you experience it truly, you can understand it. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in it. So
Roasting
that's
me
just
in
me.
the YouTube chat.
No,
right now.
we have
We got a judge call.
We have a winner.
Who won the SRDL Pop Cup?
Judge 1, Kinetic Legacy. Judge 2 and 3, Kinetic Legacy. Kinetic Legacy will be our winner in the R33. Oh my goodness. The R33
Yeah.
takes the W.
If you guys
Omar
are listening,
Baghdali in second place.
we need
Tofu
you all
the start light.
line up.
Always first place.
Everybody line up on the start line.
Chewy, if you can get to the left of Legacy, if you're in there. If not, no worries. Or to the left of Omar. If you're not in the server, don't worry about it. It doesn't look like Chewy's in there. So we're good. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. We got our drivers doing a little bit of donuts and burnouts here towards the end.
Purple and blue.
But, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you very much for coming out. We want to thank you for showing support, liking the stream, giving your all to us as we give our all to you. Dan, pleasure co-commenting with you tonight. You did a great job. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Staff, production, drivers, thank you all. We love you all so much. Please, all of you, have a fantastic night. And we wish you all the best. We will see you very, very soon. Stay tuned to the Discord. We have open qualifying for part 2 of our SRDL 2025 comp, the Pro-Am series. Coming up very soon towards the end of the month. All updates, information will be posted in the Discord. That is my sign off to you. I'm going to pass it over to Dan to cap off the night. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the dirty Stang telling you. Thank you very much for showing up to our pop-up competition. And we hope to see you in the next round. You might be invited, you might not, but you're always invited. We'll see you guys on the next run.
Learn to let the money burn to save ourselves. The suffering today is for tomorrow.